I hear the dog is exciting for another coffee break.
What's the tension? My wife has gone out and he's showing off. She's showing off a wee bit.
Yeah.
I've looked at this room. She don't like that. She don't get either of us. She gets a bit shirty. She's been locked in a room at the moment to keep her quiet.
Yeah, I remember our neighbor where I grew up. They had a dog. Um, it was it was always barking when they went at home. My mother told after a little while I noticed that it didn't bark as often as it used to. My mom told me a few years ago that the owners were fed up that the dog was always barking when they weren't at home. So they during a weekend they trained the dog that to stop barking because it didn't bark when they were at home because they used to yell at him and he didn't like that. So they started going out the usual way and down the street, and then they went in from the back door. Um, and when the dog started barking, they went out the front door and asked him to stop. So the dog learned that it couldn't trust that the owners were away when they went away. So he stopped barking out of
There are
fear.
ultrasonic things you could train your dog to stop barking. I tell you the funniest thing that happened was down our road. There's a bloke called Rodney. We call him Dave for obvious reasons. If you ever go on Fools and Horses, well, he's Dave because he was a Rodney really. And he looks after the dogs in the village for all the people. He doggy walks to all the dogs. And he's got these rather big dogs. And so one of them was quite elderly. And the thing, the vicar in our church got a little Jack Russell. It barked, and the dog dropped dead. Roddy's dog dropped dead, and he had to do the funeral for the dog. Because they had to bury the dog, and a little dog killed it. It was one of these massive dogs, massive type dogs, and a couple of Alsatians, and when it did drop dead, it was very old. It must have had a dicky heart or something. But it all went around the village that the poor little dog, the reverend's dog, killed it off. He had to apologise to the man and do the funeral on him. I use this. See that? So, give me a moment. On our front door, we've got that connected to our front door. It's got a couple magnets on it. It stops it going back, stops going alarm, and what it was with my wife. And if the door is open, the dog, so it gives us alarm. The door is open. But my dog really hates that noise. She goes mad every time she hears the door open. She just goes to ballistic. ECI. I connected up a wee battery on there. The original one worked on some coin batteries, which used to eat them like nobody business. We could only have about half a day on it, and then the batteries were flat and they're quite expensive. So I wired up to a power supply, with a 5 volts power supply to it, with a voltage regulator and a couple of resistors to reduce it down to about 3.3, and it worked quite well. So this is the Mark II version. This one's got a small battery on the end, a small lithium battery, which came out of something else. The idea of that is if when the power goes off, which it goes off quite often around here, the battery takes over for a while till the power goes back on again. But inside there's a diode in there, and these other two wires, which are loose, are the charging wires which go to a charging circuit I made. So I could leave it on if the power goes off during the day. Sometimes the alarm, the doorbell will still ring. That's the idea. It's got a 300 milliamp lithium battery out of a piece of an old iPad or something, an old computer. But they will last a long time. So that's the idea. That I've got a charging circuit built into that. There's a couple of diodes, so you steer the current. So you can charge it and have the battery on at the same time. Similar to what I did told Robbie to do, similar to what I was doing to Robbie, what I told Robbie to do with his two power supplies. A similar idea. So that's what I was. I'm going to fit that one probably on Monday, and take back the old one. Put the other one on another door somewhere because we can't leave the door open with the dog. Because if the door's open, the dog will shoot out line, go up the road, chase the rabbits. There's a field of rabbits about 3 doors up from me, and he goes in there and chases the rabbits all day. There's rabbits in there, and he just goes in and chases the rabbits. We can't get him back. We have to go call the farmer in and try. Me and the farmer last time which spent most of one evening trying to chase the dog out of the field, trying to get him to come home again.
Yeah. Hello, OnePlus Pro.
he chases the rabbits round the field.
So you fixed your username now.
Do you have myxomatosis in Finland still? Do you have myxomatosis? Do you have that rabbit disease, myxomatosis? You don't know what I'm talking about. In England, they used a disease to keep the rabbit population down, and they just used to dish down like that. They used to dish down like that. Still, because they were in another sort of world because they were drugged up, and the farmers used a pot shot with a 3 ball or 6 ball or something. It's to keep rabbits down. It's a way of populating rabbits in England to keep them down in the country. It's called myxomatosis. That in Australia as well. It wiped all the rabbits out. Basically, they're all just zombified, all zombie rabbits. You could go up to a rabbit when they got myxomatosis in them, and they just stand there and watch it. They're in another world. They're bombed out. They're like on drugs. They've been bombed out. Not nice. It's cruel.
Yeah. I see you have put on a nice shirt for today.
What?
You have dressed up for today, in addition, as opposed to what you usually do.
What?
I see. I noticed that you have put on a nice shirt today.
Oh yeah. I had a slight accident. If you read.
Yeah.
Right, I got a problem in my bowels. I went to the doctor one day, and he said because I got a genetic problem in my bowels, I can't go to the loo, which is quite embarrassing. All the family's got it as well. Anyway, he let me try me on all different sorts of medicine, and none of them work. One day he gave me that, and it didn't work. I said, "You give me a money back guarantee." It's called money back. In English, it's money back. And I said, "You have to give me money back guarantee." The poor doctor, I think he wet himself. He never laughed so much. He fell off his chair in Europe. And they'd have to keep trying different to make me go to the loo,
Yeah.
What I use it for is to put on top of the camera. I use it for the camera, see.
Ah, nice.
It's on my money back. On the top of my camera, there's a brass stand thing. And I wonder what sort of stand could I use to what sort of stand would that? What sort of fitting that would be? Do you know?
No, I have no idea.
It's a camera. It's a camera. Yeah, for screw for camera.
Normally cameras have a screw in order to put a stand on them, but not all cameras do that. My camera does not have a stand. It is just it is a flip that mounts on top of the screen, and it's just I just flip it backwards on the back part, so it's stable.
You've got plibs, but on the bottom of the plibs it looks like a standard screw hole for a for putting a mount on it or stand on it or something.
If there's a screw on the, if you can screw something on the underside on the bottom, then you can have a stand of some kind to screw it on.
I think I look for a piece of I got a piece of oak, square piece of oak that I could screw it onto, which will be heavy enough to stop the thing falling over all the time on the desk. So if I can find something the right thread, I suppose it's a metric thread. I suppose I'll try some metric thread first, and if not, I'll try something else. I'll try UPS.
Yeah, I have a LogMeIn camera. The LogMeIn made the camera, so it's a USB 720p camera.
This is this is a 720p as well, yeah. But it's not better than the old one, is it? Because the old one was terrible.
Yeah.
The dog got it. That's the problem. And the focusing part of it, and there was a bag of plastic that went round it, and it sort of fell. It sort of got it in his mouth and chewed it a wee bit, so it wouldn't go back on the gate. So I couldn't adjust the focus very well. So that's why it was a bit bad. I knew it was bad, but I didn't want to say anything. How long it took you lot to tell me.
I just found a picture on the web. I'll show you. This is the camera that I use. Only mine is blue.
It's the same as mine. It's the same as mine.
Yeah. So what I do, I just put it on top of the screen, and this back part here, it's on the back of this, and it's quite stable this way.
I'll have to try that. I'll try that next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll try to put it on the screen, yeah.
And then you don't have to screw it on anything. It can just stand there. Yeah, like that. That works very nice. Maybe point it a little down, but yeah.
You won't believe the amount of wires, leads, things that people want me to fix.
Yeah, I know all about wires. I have a server room downstairs in my basement, and I have in my living room I have 4 computers running. I have 3 desktop computers here, where one is just a file server, and I have on my under my TV I have a laptop, an i7 Intel laptop with Kodi running that I use for my media center. So, and then I have one new rack server and a desktop server in my basement. The desktop server is my serves as my router and my mail server, and yeah.
Yeah. I've got 4 servers. The plating file servers. They live upstairs in a spare bedroom. They're connected to the UPS all the time because of power problems here. Because power goes in and out, up and down all the time. They never can keep the power up in its place. I think the farmers decided to destroy lead wires every so often with their tractors, and all the power goes off in one part of the village. So got UPS on it, so I don't know any accidents happen,
Yeah, I need another UPS to be to serve in the systems in my basement. I have a UPS up in the living room, but I'm not going to extend a 50-meter power cord just to use the same
No,
UPS in the basement. So
no. I think it's only up to us two. I think the others have joined us. I think it's only up to today.
yeah, Robbie said that he wouldn't be able to join today, so
Okay, so
maybe others also stop trying. I don't know. Also, it's a weekend, so I know BP9 is most likely offline until Monday.
He always does that in every weekend. Yeah, he does that. I'll show you outside.
Nice.
See the tower outside. See that my tower outside. You can probably see the tower. It's folded over. At the moment, it's being I'm waiting for me and the other mate, a friend of mine, to go up and climb up and fix the antenna. Nothing much wrong with it. It just needs to be tightened onto the got the elements have moved a bit in the wind. So I have to go and do that one time.
Yeah.
Probably when the lockdown finishes, he's winning. He was going to do it. We were going to do it in February, but when we had the lockdown, we couldn't do it. And so we just left it. You know,
Do you live? I noticed there were some trees outside. Are you living in rural in the rural part of the country?
very rural. There's nobody around.
Yeah,
There's,
same as me.
it is very rural. We don't see anybody. There's a field opposite to me out of my window across the river, which has got cows, which is relations of mine. There's the piece of land next door I
Yeah.
own. It's got very big trees on. Then there's a field, and a field, and another field. For the next village, which is about 3 miles away. Ballymmoney is about 2, 3, 4 miles away. So there's a couple of houses over the road, but that's about it, really.
Yeah, the nice part of living, I live immersed in a similar location. There is 2 houses nearby, 200 meters away from me, on each on 2 sides, and then on each side of those again there is a kilometer in each direction. There is no one. So the nice part is that I can do what I like, and no one is bothered by anything. I'm not seeing anything I do. I like it.
Yeah, I got the same thing. I could run the radio on the 400 watts, and I don't get any complaints from anybody because I'm far enough away from anybody to not
Yeah.
have problems. Yeah,
And there is in the end, and the road is a dead end. It ends in the a lake, a somewhat large lake. It takes to drive from the bottom from one side along all the way to alongside to the other end. It takes 30 minutes in a car. So and on the end of the road here there is 7 or 8 cabins. So they are used during the summer. So in the summertime there is some traffic here, but nothing that I can't handle, having lived 30 years in the city.
I was born in London, but I lived in rural England as well. Actually, of a small village that I was related to most of the village, like here. I'm related to most of the people in the village I lived in England, also the one I lived in over here as well. They were my father's relations, and blood relations to my father. They were a sister of my father, and all their relations. I lived down in Hampshire for a while. I lived over in Leicestershire and all over the place, but it's all right. It's a fish in your lake. Is there fish in the lake?
Yes.
What's
My parents often are out in the lake. The 20 minutes north of here, at the other side, at the other end of the lake, you can rent a boat, a small boat, and then you can go on the lake fishing. And they often do that in the summer.
what sort of fish are they? Are they trout or salmon?
I have no idea.
No, we got trout in the bottom of our river, and they fish in the bottom of our river.
Yeah, but I think there is a trout. There usually is a trout in the Norwegian lakes.
Yeah, because we're on the River Bush, where they make the whiskey. That's very old whiskey. That's very, very old, the oldest one in the world. You can look up Bushmills, and we're down on the same river as that, and the trout in that river as well.
Yeah.
They all fish up they all fish on the other side of the bay. I see them every so often. They're fishing for trout in the summertime. I haven't seen them recently, I suppose, because of lockdown. We get all sort of wildlife as well. We get herons and some carrion birds and some small hawks and things like that. So every so often I see them. There's quite a lot of different things to see. And cows, that come over the river, the like to swim. Okay.
I'm just you mentioned birds. There is a big bird that is staying here during the summers. I'm just trying to look at the English name for it.
It's hairy. It's hairy because he just stand there with long legs and just stand there. And then
The name of the birds that are on the fields here, it says on the English Wikipedia, it's common crane is the English name for it.
what?
Yeah, crane.
Oh, crane,
Yeah.
Yeah, crane.
Charlie Romeo Alpha November Echo.
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah, we get those small birds that just sit there, and they've got very long legs, and they just sit there and stand still, and they just dive in and take a fish or two.
Yeah, and we also have there are quite a lot of animals moving around here. In the winter, there are two elks who are moving around the fields here, and a small group of reindeer were moving in the fields, poking at the snow and looking the grass and underneath. And there also is deer who also.
They're protected. Are they protected? Could you take a 12-bore and jump off one? Could you do that, or would you be in trouble if you popped a reindeer?
The reindeer is most likely owned by someone. There is not too far north of here. There is they are herding reindeer. So I'm guessing that those who have been the herders around here, I'm sure that they belong to someone.
Okay, yeah, so you don't do that. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But there is the next municipality just north of here is there is a quite large gathering of Lap people. I don't know the
Tony people in it. Tony in English, we call them.
Yeah. There is and they are officially recognized in the local municipality as they have there are Norwegian and Sami is the Sami the language the two languages in that municipality is equal.
We got what we call them because with S sounds what kind yeah. We have foxes, birds, and and badgers and all sorts of weasels and all sorts of strange things come up here, and rats as well. But unfortunately, they come from the river and they're quite big, and so we have to disclose from them a wee bit because they're a bit too a bit too tame. I think some of them,
Yeah.
There's a thing called kingfishers. We have kingfishers. We got a kingfisher in there. I've seen a kingfisher here. We're walking down the other bank. I saw the kingfisher once or twice. It was just a quick blue blur, and it was gone. Blew the kingfisher, and they're not too common in England, I don't think. I can't even see.
Yeah, I noticed the cranes that are the birds that are living here. I lived here for 2 days when I woke up one morning and I heard a noise that I never hadn't heard before, and then I had to find out what on earth that bird was. I have never seen the bird is quite large. It's the size of it is close to the size of a swan, the white swan. They are almost as big as those, so they are quite high.
Yeah, swans could do a lot of damage. If you get an argument with a swan, it could do a lot of damage to you because they can get quite uppity and they could get quite nasty. We used to keep a guinea fowl here, which was like I suppose it's like a big, like a big chicken, I suppose. My wife kept them and some banshee ducks as well. And the guinea fowl used to walk around our garden and we used to go and get the eggs. We had to go and look for the eggs. But they disappeared one afternoon, and we think that somebody took a couple of them. So the others flew off somewhere. They were now, they just appeared one afternoon, one day, and we fed them and looked after them every so often. I'll tell you another story. When I lived in England down in Hampshire, I was walking up the road, and it's like a main road up that's like Guildford, and it's quite rural, and walking up the road, and I didn't have my glasses on, and my sight pretty bad. It's not so bad as be white, but it's pretty bad. And walking up the road, and I saw this brown thing next to me. And I noticed, thought it was a dog. Carried on, and my cousin said to me, "Did you know to take them out the gate up the road? Did you know what that was?" No, she said it was a fox. It was following me all the way up the road, walking up the road up towards the shops. It was so tame. It was on a main road as well, and it didn't care. This thing didn't care, and I didn't say hello. I just thought it was a brown dog.
Yeah. But I think that it's time. The time is come to wrap up, even if there was just the two of us. So for those watching the on-demand version, we will be back tomorrow. Sorry we didn't have an introduction today, but we assumed there will be more joining, and yeah. So we will see you again tomorrow. Hopefully, Robbie will be here and a few other people. So see you all tomorrow, people. Bye.
And you, Johnny. I know you're